Hi friends, welcome back. Happy New Year. This is my first video of 2025 and I'm happy to be here. Today we're just gonna have a cozy catch up and check-in because January is for resting and resetting. It's winter. Storm Eowyn is outside. Get your blankets and we'll get a hot drink and have a little gossip. Actually, while the kettle boils, we're gonna strip the bed. If you do one thing for yourself today, give yourself a nice squeaky clean bed to get back into. And play Nintendo win. Mangosteen is good. I haven't planned a structure to this. I've just sat down with the camera and we're just gonna chat. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Becky. I'm an actor and a puppeteer and I share a little bit of my daily life on YouTube. And for those of you that do know me, welcome back. I'm glad to see you still here. A special shout out to my supporters on Ko-fi. I really appreciate you supporting me all the time. Hi, how have you been? What have you done this year so far? Let me know in the comments. I feel like I've had a late start to the year. I wasn't back in my own home until the 17th of January. I was away in London, and I feel like when I'm away time is kind of paused, and then when I'm back in my apartment I think clearly 2025. Have you set intentions yet? What are you doing? It's okay if you're not doing anything and just resting. I'm kind of vibing with that energy right now. People keep asking me what I've been up to and I'm like, I don't know. Does that mean I've been up to nothing? I started drawing again. I hadn't really drawn since the COVID, and I have a very perfectionist thing over drawing, and it stops me drawing because it's never perfect and it never will be. So I just keep drawing the same line over and over again and rubbing it out. Yeah, so I just wanted a fun hobby activity thing for me that wasn't for work, that wasn't monetized in any way, and was just a little time away from my brain. And I started going on solo dates and taking myself drawing in parks and cafes and pubs. I think I'm quite guilty of monetizing my hobbies because I'm an artist. So, you know, money's hard to find. Although I did, maybe you'd call it a commission, sort of. I have done a drawing that I'm going to share in a different video that I've done in partnership with a tea brand, and they're giving me tea and I'm giving them this design, and it's cute. It's just a little like free bookmark to include in their orders. And I got to use this gorgeous book that was gifted to me by someone who attended one of my talks at the Pixelatl Festival in Mexico. Afterwards, some lovely humans would kind of give me stickers or drawings, and I got this gorgeous book from someone, and I hadn't used it. I was so afraid to use it because I was like, it's so lovely, and if I draw in it, I'll ruin it. So challenging my perfectionism, that even like using this book was part of the challenge, to make myself draw, to make myself use the notebook. Use the notebook. I know some of you out there know exactly what I mean. Use the notebook. Where's my favorite? I have a favorite page because I fully colored it in. I got my coloring pencils out. I hadn't used coloring pencils in years. I sit in the park and draw some birds and leaves and stuff. I had a frog phase. There's some of these that still need outline, so maybe we can do some of these today together as a little chill activity after our chat to wind down. So I did that, and I've been having a really nice time doing that. And yeah, almost feels like a new hobby, even though I did draw before. Not like this. I have started this journal by Journals by James, which is my friend James, who you may recognize from Bridgerton. It's all, he designed every page hand-drawn on his tablet, I think. He has all this information on his socials that I will link. The quality is incredible. I get to use my fancy pens because it doesn't go through the paper, and I never get to use my fancy pens. I have these metallic paint pens that I use for signings, and I can use them on this paper and it doesn't go through. It's really good. There's a daily tracker with it that I use to track my workouts. I hate working out, but I love coloring in these boxes. So I actually did one this morning, so I get to color in, you can color in this box. That's your 2025 motivation. That's all you need. Boxes to color in. It's got books. You draw on the bookshelves the books that you've finished. I've already finished a book this year, so I need to add that. It's got movies that you've watched, and you can add 3 words, like a 3-word review and a little star rating, and television series is super cute. So I like sitting with a cup of tea in the mornings and filling this in. I got gifted 2 books for New Year's. Hidden Potential by Adam Grant and Good Vibes, Good Life. Leah gave me this. I was in a place and people knew that. I had a big rejection last year. I don't mind telling you, it's all part of this industry. I mean, I get rejected all the time. It's really not a big deal, but every so often one just hits different, and it's completely part of our job and our industry to get these rejections. You're gonna audition loads and get a couple of them. That's the game, and that's totally fine, but just for some reason I got shook up. Sometimes it's because you lost out on something that was really big, or sometimes it's because you lost out on something that was really small and beneath what you are even looking for. I do want to talk about that. I've been working on trying to put a video together for fellow actors and artists who are dealing with and struggling with that rejection, and just kind of talking through it and offering ideas of ways out of it. So I was in like not the best space about things. Still auditioning, still working hard, but just the energy around it wasn't the same positivity that I normally have. I'm a very glass half full kind of person, and that the glass wasn't half full anymore. But that's okay, and it's totally fine to have those times. But anyway, that was going on, and this book, I read this really quickly actually. It's quite a quick read. It touches on measuring your achievements not from the peak that you've reached, but how far you traveled to get there. So I think that sort of thing is useful if you're feeling in a rut of taking stock and checking how far that you've actually come to achieve what you have achieved. Good vibes, good life. I've only just started. Seems to be about the law of attraction and attracting good things into your life. This is a very nice pair of books to have been gifted at the start of the year. I have wonderful people in my life. Before I set this to the side, this has also influenced my New Year's intentions. I have set some New Year's intentions. Have you? What are they? Last year, I set an intention in the new year to overcome my anxiety of going on podcasts and interviews. I would get asked a lot to go on podcasts and talk about my work, and it just terrified me. I just had a very big anxiety about it all. I felt really awkward and like I'm always going to say the wrong thing, and then no one's going to be interested in what I'm saying. I'm wasting people's time. I like doing the work. I love that part. I will do that forever, as long as I can. But talking about the work in interviews, I did not love so much. It just made me feel awkward and weird. But I set a goal last year to overcome that, and I just started pushing myself to do these things, and I did them. I did like 4 different podcast interviews. I did 2 radio interviews, and I feel like that was the biggest thing that I achieved last year over any job or anything like that, that kind of overcoming that for myself and challenging myself in that way. It was like such growth for me to have that. So that feels like my biggest thing, and that was something that came from being uncomfortable, making myself uncomfortable. And this book talks about failure being the best way to learn and grow. They use the example of when you're learning language and how fast you can learn a language if you're not afraid to be bad at it, and just start speaking it from day one, and don't wait until you can speak it perfectly before you start talking to someone, because you'll just learn so much faster if you fail. So for 2025, I want to kind of do the same thing. And from reading this book, I feel like I want to get comfortable being uncomfortable, and then have my branches down of what I want to achieve, but try to achieve them by making myself uncomfortable. I want to sing more. I used to sing all the time. It just felt like part of my being, because I wanted to do musical theatre, so I was always singing musical theatre songs, and there's like a level of challenge in that. They're hard to sing, and I don't sing like that anymore, and I kind of want to, even just for myself, to keep that in my bank. I'm not sure what layout that's going to be yet, so I feel like maybe doing vocal warm-ups every day, or I don't know if there's some sort of singing challenge that exists that I could do. I could be singing songs and putting them and sharing them on YouTube, and pushing myself to do that, because also that would be really uncomfortable, because I would then be sharing them, and that's nerve-wracking. So I want to push myself to do that. So if you stick around, you'll see the results of that, hopefully. I want to sign more. I studied sign language and I adore it. It's something that I'm so scared of getting it wrong that then I don't speak it. So I'm trying to find ways to speak it more and integrate that more into my life, and be less afraid of getting things wrong, because then I'll just get better and better at it, and that's what I would like to be. Leah and I did some, call it vision boarding, maybe? Journaling, vision journaling, manifestation journaling, for our New Year's intentions. So this is my collage of the New Year intentions. This is get comfy being uncomfy. There's my little demon shouting at me. And I want to write more. I want to sign more and sing more. and push myself to do these things. I also have to finish Ever After by Amanda Hocking, which I've been just reading really, really slowly because it's the last book and I don't want it to end. It's been like 3 trilogies and this is the last of the 3rd trilogy. So I don't want it to be over, so I just keep like reading it really slowly. So I need to finish that. I've been reading Peter Pan. Peter Pan is my favorite piece of literature. And I went to this beautiful Peter Pan high tea in London. It was stunning. It was magical. It was everything that I would have ever wanted it to be and more. It was so dreamy. And then I left it and I was like, Peter Pan is my favorite book. And why am I not spending my life rereading my favorite book? And I picked it up again and I've started reading it before bed, and it is just as perfect and magical as it always was. I just pore over every line. I just love it. Reread your favorite books. Life is short. Why are we not just rereading our favorite books and doing nothing else? Ooh, I sold something on Vinted. Yay. I have been writing. I have been writing a short film. I don't see myself as a writer. I just had a story I wanted to tell. I needed a creative outlet. There are some things in my personal life that I don't want to go too into detail about things, but I was spending a lot of time in hospital. And for those of you that know that life, there are maybe just hours where you're sat in the canteen, just waiting. So I needed a creative outlet. And I had this story in mind paired with some other things, and I started writing a short film. And I think it pairs in so well with getting comfy, being uncomfy, and pushing myself to do stuff that's not comfortable for me. And that is one of them. I'm really excited about it. It's gonna be fantasy, kind of apocalyptic setting. We'll call it Project Teapot. There's a teapot in it. Of course there's a teapot in it. I wrote it. There's going to be a whole tea montage in it if I have my way. But yes, or tea leaves. We'll say tea leaves. Project Tea Leaves is what we'll call it. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I'm learning so much. I'm learning so much because I haven't read anything like that before. So even just like trying to figure out how to format scripts, which is strange because I read scripts all the time as my daily life and job, and I haven't really questioned that before. And suddenly I'm like, wait, how do you format this? I feel I have first draft done, but it needs many more drafts, but it's there. And it exists start to finish. I currently have a little bit of an alternate ending thing going on, pick your own adventure, because I can't currently decide. Are you a writer? Is this a thing that you have? How do you decide what happens to people? I have drawn the characters out as well, and I'm very up for keeping you updated on this. If you have questions about it, let me know, and maybe I can do a different video talking about that specifically. But I'm writing a short film. It's not something I thought I would say, but here we are. Oh, I also did a little short story reading on BBC Radio 4, which I think might still be available. I will link it below if it is. Also, I feel like I touched on kind of being in a rut and feeling a little bit hard done by, attacked by the world, but career-wise, like, things are good. And I have been getting interesting auditions through for interesting parts, and like, hand on heart, I'm so proud of the tapes that I have been producing. I definitely used to be someone who just always felt so self-conscious about my audition tapes. And to now, for whatever reason, maybe just because the parts are really interesting, to now be producing tapes, like the last 4 or 5 I've done, I love them all. I can't share them with you because of confidentiality. If I could, I would, because I really like them. I think that's just such a nice and special thing. So I want to have that stated and documented, even just for myself, to be like, well done, you, for being proud of yourself. Isn't that amazing? Coming up, I will be appearing at the Great Con Junction in Elstree Studios in London in February, on the 8th of February. It is on the 8th and 9th. I will only be able to attend on the 8th. Then I have to go back to what I'm at. But if you are attending that, please let me know. Please come and say hi to me. I will have a signing desk that I will be at on the Saturday for autographs and photos. And then there's a party on Saturday night, a podling party, and I will be performing at the party. And yeah, I would love to see you there. If you are there, please come and say hi to me. I do have a video of a game playthrough that I was gifted and played and recorded, and I've got the video done and it will not export. Every time I try, it breaks. The laptop just dies, or it exports but then the sound is out of sync with the visual, and I can't I don't know if you're ever going to see that video, but I do have it made. We'll make the bed and then just spend the rest of the day doing cozy and restful things.